Hello everyone, Tim Jackson here, Pets2impress, where paws come first. So tonight I am joined by, I'm going to say three special guests actually, because we've got Star in the mix as well too. So we've got Star and her lovely owners, Jay and Tony, and I'm also joined by Lauren, one of our trainers at Pets2impress. Everyone give us a quick hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Now, I do have a little confession. So we actually did this very same meeting last week, but unfortunately, I made an error with the settings on Zoom. And when it converted the files, it was actually just me. You couldn't see anyone else. So a big, massive thank you to Jade and to Tony and to Star for taking the time again to do this meeting again. I really, really appreciate it. So Jay and Tony and Star have just graduated from our Puppy School Plus. So tell us a little bit about Star before we continue.
So as a family, we'd spoken quite a lot about getting a dog, just to bring into the family. We have an autistic child, so the ultimate aim of getting a dog would always be that dog would become a service animal for our son, to help him with any kind of traits and needs that he had. So we looked very much at the right type of breed to accommodate that. And we kept coming back to a Labrador. It was always going to be a Labrador for our house. So we found Star as part of a litter that was in Kensington, I believe. Yeah, she just fitted perfectly. Everything about her just fits very perfectly into the household. She's very calm, very easy to train, very excitable as a puppy as well. But
clearly
yeah,
likes giving kisses as well too.
Yeah, she's just taken to this like an absolute natural.
Oh, bless her. And so I know obviously when you first signed up to the puppy school, it was, I believe, December time, maybe something like that. You signed up. Obviously, we were hoping for it to be in person, weren't we? Like face-to-face classes. But with the lockdown and restrictions, unfortunately, we had to move them onto Zoom. Now, when I got the job of ringing everyone to inform them, when I first rang you, what was your gut instinct first of all when I said we're going to be moving on to Zoom?
I think for myself, I didn't have any apprehensions to begin with. I just thought, okay, that's something different. I think the only thing that I had an apprehension of was around the socialization, how we work that into her routine, and obviously desensitizing it to other dogs. But you had other hesitations, didn't you?
I was a little bit concerned that it would be harder this way, just with not being there in person. Trying to do things online seemed like it would be harder, but it hasn't been at all. It's been great. And the plan had been that Jay was going to attend the classes, because the way that our life works, Jay works days and I work nights or evenings and weekends from home to fit around our three children. So I was never going to be able to go to the class. So actually, now that everything's online and recorded, it actually means that I get to be part of the classes. So actually, it did actually work out better for us. But at the beginning, I obviously didn't realise that. But once we realised that, and we've been able to watch the recordings, it actually worked out better for us. But so yeah, it actually has been great. So it hasn't been a problem.
Good. And I mean, I think there was probably a lot of hesitation from a lot of owners as well too, because when people get a puppy, the thing that they think about is the socialization. That's a key part of having a puppy. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is the training element is equally just as important as well. Training's a great way just to build up confidence, build up trust and independence. And it's a great way just to ensure that you've got a well-rounded puppy by the end of it as well too. And I mean, I'll probably agree, should I say, Lauren will agree with us on this one. I think we kind of had hesitations as well too. It wasn't something that we really wanted to do. We didn't really want to move the classes online. We enjoy doing the face-to-face classes, mostly because we get to cuddle puppies as well too. I mean, that's a very good thing. I mean, I normally finish around about 6 o'clock on a Wednesday, but I always tend to stick around just so I can get some puppy cuddles as well too. So they are great fun. We love doing the classes. So yes, it was a bit of a blow when that happened, but I think, and as it's proven with you guys as well, I think it's been a really good success actually, and I think it's helped a hell of a lot of people as well too. And I think you're right with the fact that you can go back to the recordings, and you've got them recordings now for forever more. So if you ever have days where you think, oh, it's just taking 5 steps back, you can always go back to the videos, and that's something that you potentially wouldn't have got if it was a in-person class. Jay's laughing because they've just told us before I hit the record button that Star has had a moment today, shall we say. She's hit the terrible 6-month stage. So, but
yeah. I mean, the recordings have been invaluable for us, especially. So obviously with Star, we were always going to train her to this level. Even if she wasn't going to be a service animal, we were always going to do this level of training, because as responsible pet owners, you need to be able to train your dog, because they need it more than you need it as well. But it does make obviously life a hell of a lot easier to be able to actually give that command to the animal and for them to follow through on that as well. But yeah, now obviously that Star has hit 6 months, and she has had a little bit of a hiccup over the weekend and today in our training. We'll be going back to those original lessons to go, okay, we need to strip this back to basics now. What did we do in the beginning that we've maybe progressed on from? So we've forgotten how basic the basic training was. So that element of it has been absolutely invaluable to us.
And sometimes you do have to go back. I mean, me as well, having a new puppy as well too. Obviously, over the years, I've been so used to saying to people, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. And it is completely different when you've got your own puppy as well too. And I think I'm kind of learning a lot of lessons that a lot of owners face as well too. And there'll be certain things that I've worked with really, really well with B, and she's responded really well. And then one day she kind of just rebels and thinks, no, I'm not going to do that. So then I have to strip it back and go back to the basics as well too. And that's an important lesson really. And it's not something that just happens when a dog hits 6 months. It's something that you kind of have to, I guess, be prepared to do for the rest of the dog's life, because if you slip with your dog's training, then you will have to go back to the basics as well too. So training's kind of an ongoing thing. So with that in mind as well, tell me a little bit more about Pausable. So that's going to be the next level for you guys with Star, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, we have an autistic son. He's 6 years old now, and he does suffer from the stereotypical autistic traits of overstimulation. And the plan is that Star is going to be a service animal for him. He's got a bit of a tendency to run off places. So, Star's going to be there as sort of a safety anchor, because she's going to weigh a hell of a lot more than he's going to weigh. She does weigh a lot more than he weighs, to kind of keep him safe. But yeah, so we were actually referred to Pets2impress via Pausable, who we were referred to via Dogs for Autism, which is the charity for dogs for autism. So we were referred through that way. So yes, that is definitely going to be the next step. And I know in Puppy School Plus, we work very closely with Lauren on the key elements that she needs to pass her assessment for Pausable training. So we started working towards those before we can book those in. And we've considered scent training and started looking into scent training for her, so that if any occasion did occur where Christopher went missing, we would be able to train Star to retrieve him, essentially, or to at least help us find him if that were to happen. So yeah, that is definitely her next step, is to get through her assessment for Pausable.
And no doubt it'll probably be me that comes and does our assessment. So in the past, I've done quite a few assessments with Pausable. So hopefully I'll get to meet Star at some point. I know Lauren's had the pleasure of meeting her, but I've not had the pleasure yet. So I'll look forward to meeting her. And Lauren's already said she wants to come along when I do our assessment anyway. So she'll get
from the start to the end.
Absolutely. We'll get to get some extra cuddles as well with her as well too. But it just goes to prove though how amazing dogs are. I mean, even just thinking about getting that to retrieve your son, if you, God forbid, hopefully it never happens, but if he did go missing, the fact that we can train dogs to do things like this is pretty incredible, really. I think it's far more incredible than what a lot of owners give their dogs credit for. Dogs are so intelligent, and that's why so many dogs are, dare I say the word, naughty. It's because they're so intelligent and they know what gets them what they want, really, which is why at Pets2impress we focus on the positive elements, so praising the good behaviors, because the more you praise the good behaviors, the more likely those behaviors are going to be repeated. Whereas I think what a lot of owners tend to do is kind of focus on the negatives, as I think most people do in life anyway. I think it's just a trait that humans have, isn't it? We kind of automatically focus on the negatives, but by doing that with dogs, if you focus on their negatives, you're kind of reinforcing the unwanted behaviors and encouraging the dog to repeat those behaviors again. And that's, if we think about Sky's little star. Sorry, I don't know why I've got Sky in my head. If we think about stars,
everybody does it.
Everyone calls us Sky.
It's because I keep
Hands up though, I've never done it.
That's true.
I keep saying Sky in my head, and I keep trying to correct myself, saying it's not Sky, it's Star. It's Star. I haven't even worked with a Sky today, so I don't know where Sky's come from. But I guess it's because the Star's Sky. So I've completely lost my train of thought there now as well too. It was going so smoothly.
You were talking about negative based rewarding.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So although we've had like a couple of little mishaps, shall we say, with Star over the weekend, we've just got to remember that it's important that we still focus on the positives. Okay, so I know chances are there may have been a few little negatives in there, but if we put our efforts into focusing on the positives, them negatives hopefully won't happen again. Or she might try and push her luck from time to time. She is a female after all. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm totally outnumbered
Right.
tonight, aren't I?
I'm ending this now.
I'm totally outnumbered.
Really?
I shouldn't say that.
Go down that route.
I shouldn't say it. I'm just as bad. So it's for the daycare side of things as well. We have it. So our members will have like a private Facebook group, and I'm one of the very few men in that group as well, and I'm always pushing me luck in there as well. I'm going to get lynched one of these days. It's guaranteed to happen. So anyway, going back to puppy school and with Star. So overall, what would you say has been your achievements, I guess, that you feel like you've made via the online training classes?
I mean, the achievements themselves have been that she's been so quick to learn. So you teach her something once or twice and that's it, she's got it. And if there is something that she's maybe struggling with, again, because the classes are recorded, we'll be able to go back and think, so are we doing this right? I think for us, having the full-time support of Lauren as well, so it's not just a 1 hour class on a Tuesday. You know, Lauren's available at all points of the week as well, that we can send forward videos and you know, ask questions, and she will usually get back to us within a very short space of time. Say, okay, that part's great, you've got that. But maybe try it this way, and give that really constructive feedback that we've needed. Having it this way as well has allowed us to be on the same page when we're training Star, so that if we were walking her separately, for example, and we did something very different, obviously that was confusing her and we couldn't understand what was going wrong. But then obviously when we've listened to the classes as well, we've been able as owners to align our thinking and know exactly what we need to give to Star in order for her to understand what we need out of her as well. So that's definitely been a big achievement for us. But yeah, I mean, she's been absolutely fantastic for training. But yeah, she's just great.
I think it's when people stop you in the street to tell you how amazingly behaved your dog is, and that they can't get over that a dog that looks clearly only 6 months old can do what she does, is probably the sort of the best part about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like someone's told you that your child's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is lush, and that's the. I think it's because there's so many, dare I say, so many owners out there that don't maybe have the best behaved dog, a dog that's literally pulling them here, there and everywhere, a dog that doesn't have a good recall. And you're exactly right with what you said, just because I think nowadays it's you see more families that have got dogs, as opposed to individuals that have got dogs. Not that there isn't individuals that have got dogs, but there's more families that are welcoming dogs. And you're right, if you're gonna train your dog, you've got to kind of be singing from the same hymn sheet. If you're both doing something completely different, then you're exactly right, as Jay said, it's just going to confuse your dog. You've got to make sure that you are bang, bang, bang from the word go. And I think more importantly in your case as well, because obviously we've done the basics with Star now. Now we've got the bigger picture to look at as well too. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing their journey. And I know you'll keep in touch. I know during the puppy school, you are very active, Jay, as well too, with sending in videos and messages. And that's what we encourage as well too. Like you say, it's not just about the 1 hour class. We want to make sure that we do have that level of support outside of the classes as well too, because we want to make sure that you guys are getting the best, but ultimately we want to make sure that the puppies are getting the best as well too. We want to make sure that they're getting the best start in life as well too. So I'm really, really pleased that you did enjoy the classes. Now, as it goes, the restrictions are being eased ever so slightly, which means from the next course we're now able to move the classes back to face-to-face. We're doing it in an outdoor environment. We're still going to be doing the first lesson via Zoom. If you remember, with your first lesson, it's a very informative lesson where we talk about all the do's and all the don'ts. So that one's still going to be via Zoom, so owners will still have a recording of that, but then we're going to be doing it in an outdoor environment. So there still will be the social element. Obviously, we don't know what the world's planning for us and whether or not we're going to be thrown back into full lockdown. Who knows anymore? We just have to take it as it comes, don't we? But thank you so much, and I'm really glad that you've enjoyed the course. Lauren gave us a lot of feedback about you guys along the way as well too, saying how amazing you were doing with Star, and I'm really, really looking forward to meeting us. So fingers crossed when your assessment comes through for Pausable, fingers crossed I'm the trainer that gets to come and do the job, because I think there's a few dotted around the area. Normally in this particular area, then it is me that comes to do the assessment. So I will look forward to my Star cuddles then. So Lauren, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, not really. Just everything that you've gone through already. I mean, like Star and she's just absolutely a fantastic dog, but every dog's fantastic, and the work that Jay and Tony have put in is just been evident in the behaviour of Star, and that's all it takes is time and effort, and going on the right path. And I'm absolutely over the moon with where Star is. Yeah, she's had some hiccups. I spoke to Jay yesterday and directed on the right path, but that's what we are here for. We're here to help you and direct you to where we want her to be. And yeah, so just to remind you, Tim, I am coming on that assessment.
No bother, I'll make sure it happens. But well
done, guys. You've done absolutely amazing with Star, and I'm so thrilled that you've loved every session that we've had. The Puppy School Plus ones were just great, weren't they?
Yeah.
Adventuring. They were fun.
And just to mirror what Lauren said as well too, we are here in the long term as well too, so don't just feel that just because the puppy school's over that you can't get in touch. You are more than welcome if there's any concerns, anything at all, just to pick up the phone, because that's what we're here for. All right, so thank you so much, each and every one of you, for taking the time. Obviously, Star got bored and decided to disappear. She'd had a moment of fame and was like, yeah, I'm done now, I'll see you later. So thank you very much to Star, and thank you very much to you guys. You should be really, really proud of yourself from where you have come with Star. You have done absolutely incredible with her. And as I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to seeing the progress that you make with her. I know I can just foresee that you are going to do amazing things with her, because you are amazing owners, singing from the same hymn sheet. You are clearly and evidently putting in the work, so just keep it up. That's all I can say. So thank you very much once again for giving up another Monday evening due to my error last week. And thank you, Lauren, for joining us as well too. If anyone has any questions on our puppy school, like I say, we are taking them back to face-to-face classes as of next month. We've only got a few spaces left, so if you are wanting in, then you need to book fast, because once the spaces go, they do go. So there we go. And if anyone's got any questions, comment below or send me a message. For now, this is Tim from Pets2impress. And guys, where's that? Someone see it?
Where paws come first. I'll
Thank
do it.
You. Thank you, God. You left us hanging there, didn't you? God, I know I made one error last week. Just don't even leave us hanging.
You're doing the job. I was coached for this.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.